In my last little going back to childhood snippet, I said that I was going to talk about books that I bought when I started earning my own pocket money, but I'm actually going to just linger a little bit longer on the Grimm's fairy tales because I really love them, but I don't know if I always got the point of the story that was supposed to be coming across to me. And the first one that I'm going to make mention of is Little Red Riding Hood. One of the things for me is that I was always a loner, and partly that is my nature, and partly I'll talk in other episodes coming up about how that was the nature of how I was raised. And I have always had an extremely strong affiliation with animals, and I have always particularly loved wolf lore. So Little Red Riding Hood is probably the very first fantasy that I ever came in contact with as a small child that connected wolves with any kind of magical ability, even though it was a bit of a lark. The wolf was supposed to have dressed up as grandma. I mean, the wolf could talk, so let's face it, this is the beginnings of that kind of lore. But to be very honest, I always felt it was a huge disservice to paint the wolf out as being the baddie in the tale, because I was always extremely drawn to wildlife documentaries about predators as well, even as a child. And I have always felt that predators are the most noble of creatures to be respected, absolutely. But I never liked how they came across in there. And it's one of the things I love about Wheel of Time is the way black and white is just not black and white anymore. The second one I want to mention is Rapunzel, because I remember being so fascinated by Rapunzel's hair because I was not allowed to grow my hair long when I was a child. I didn't look like any of my family. I was constantly told that I was just a throwback. And my sister had this long golden hair and she hated having to look after her hair and brush it. And I would just watch her and dream of having long hair. But with Rapunzel, what always got me the most, and I don't know how old I was when this kind of dawned on me, was why didn't she just cut her hair off? Or the prince bring a pair of scissors up and cut her hair off, tie it to the post like the witch or the fairy, you know, whatever version you're listening to did, and climb down and escape, because she would have known that it would grow back. Anyway, that's just a little diversion from me. I promise next video that I do will look at the fantasy that I moved into when I started earning my own pocket money, but I intend to actually come full circle at some point, as we do in the Wheel of Time, and bring some of these really early childhood fantasies back to meaning something, so far as the Wheel of Time and the correlations that I can draw.